So welcome to this podcast with me, Chris Jones. This is a quick introduction to this very short podcast about the Actors Table Read at the Screenwriters Festival. I recorded this session a couple of days ago with our very first Actors Table Read just to see how it went online. And Rebecca Colby was the author, the writer of the screenplay. Let's just dive straight in. So it's in two parts. The first part is recorded before we did the table read, and the second part is directly after it, where we asked all the actors and the director and everybody involved what their experience was. So here we go. Let's meet Rebecca and Emily, the director. Rebecca, you're the writer of this script. How are you feeling about the Actors Table Read that's coming up?
I am super excited. I have never had a table read of my work before, not even with fellow students. And these are actors, so yeah, and actresses. So yeah, I'm super excited.
And what are you hoping to get out of this?
There's a few things. I guess I want to make sure that the dialogue sounds authentic and genuine, and you hear it one way in your head, but I think it's very different when you hear somebody else read it and express it. So yeah, just that's the big thing, I guess, and make sure the story works.
And Emily, you're going to be directing tonight.
Mm-hmm.
What's your expectation?
I'm just hoping for a really great experience. Something I love about directing is kind of bouncing off the actors. So I'm really excited to finally meet them face to face. I've been emailing them for a little bit now. So really excited to hear their interpretations of the work, and to help kind of guide them in a direction that I think will be great for the work.
Amazing. So we're 10 minutes away from kickoff, and we're just waiting for our amazing actors to arrive. We're going to skip over the performance during the podcast and rejoin the conversation after we've just finished and to debrief what actually happened. So thank you, everyone, for participating in that. That was awesome and epic to hear the evolution from the first cold read through all the way to the final performance. Rebecca, I just want to ask you quickly, what was the experience like for you?
It was fantastic. I've never had a table read before, so this was my first experience. And from the very beginning, hearing the first read, then hearing Emily's notes for them, the gentle way that she guided them through as they went along, and seeing the characters come a bit more to life in each read. And it was fantastic, really great.
And Emily, how did it feel for you?
I thought it was great. I will be honest, I was a little nervous coming in because I've never directed over Zoom before. So I was a little nervous about the energy, but everyone really brought it. And everyone's interpretations of the characters were so on point with how I interpreted the script and obviously how Rebecca wrote it from her feedback afterwards. So yeah, it was really incredible. It just exceeded all of my expectations.
Fantastic. And obviously we are recording this over Zoom, and it is a very challenging environment to do performances. From the cast that are still here, so Ben, Gareth and Chloe, what was your experience of doing it? I'll go to Chloe first because you're at the top of my left.
No, I think it's always lovely. I think it's always interesting when you've had a piece for a little bit that you've read over and you've got an idea in your mind, and then suddenly you've got the chance to meet the other people playing the characters and seeing what they're bringing to the table. And you go, oh, that's what you're doing with it. All right, okay, so now I know what this is actually, how maybe I could play with it and I could have some fun and make it a bit more interesting. So I think it's nice. I think it always defies your expectations, and it's just nice to then play with other performers really and see now which kind of creative directions you could take a piece in really, and what's up for the grabs.
Right. And Ben, I saw your character kind of did a little bit of an evolution through it. How does that work from a performance perspective over multiple reads?
Well, as has been said already, I think with Emily's very clear direction and that let's not forget boundless energy reading through the stage directions 3 times, because that takes up a lot of energy. Incredible. And then to get the writer's input as well on how they see it and how they shape it with the different characters is just great. it's the word play has been used already. I mean, that's what it is. It's what we do, play with it, and then you get to really bounce off different versions with the notes that we're given by Emily to kind of add a bit more color to the character, a little bit more depth, and also the change in emotions,
Right.
From one scene to the next. You know?
And Gareth, your experience.
Well, I find Zoom readings an invaluable tool. We touched beforehand about during lockdown, it was a necessity. It was the only way we could actually get any sort of performances together. And I think it has evolved. It's come on leaps and bounds from the early days of stumbling in the dark to it's become, I think, quite a sophisticated tool. Because getting table reads at any time, Rebecca mentioned she's never had a table read before. It's like herding cats, as I'm sure you're well aware. So having something like this where you can just go, right, have you got an hour on an evening? Let's get around a microphone and a camera and give it a go. And like Chloe says, and it gives you as a performer such a better way than you just talking into your mirror or annoying with your partner running lines. Having these people here, and it's always nice to have an ensemble to bounce off. It elevates any production. And again, as Ben was saying as well, big thanks to Emily for concise and energetic and setting the tone with the direction and the stage directions. But yeah, I love doing this stuff. It's great.
Rebecca, I don't know whether you noticed as I was listening, I noticed the energy and the pace kind of increased by like 20% every single time until the final read through. It was really bam, 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 and it was bouncing off. It got that kind of playing tennis feeling instead of one line moving into the next line as we go from, effectively from the read to everybody knowing what's coming and why it's coming and feeling it rather than reading it. Did you have that sense as well?
Very much so, yes. Could see that coming along much quicker and how they were reacting and, as you say, bouncing off each other. And it was great to see that transformation as it did lift in energy. And also watching it and listening to it, it was very reassuring for me also as a writer, gave me confidence that I was on the right track with the script as well. So yeah.
In terms of the writing, Rebecca, is there anything, now you've heard it performed and felt it and seen it, is there anything in the writing that you might change?
Oh, yes, definitely. I put too much direction in myself, haven't I? Oh, yeah, there are times when you're cringing, you think, I didn't need to put that in there. Leave that to the actor, the actress.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And in terms of stage direction, how do you feel that came across, that Emily was reading out?
Emily's stage direction.
Yeah. Not a performance, but your words, actually.
Oh, yes. Well, I thought she did a great job. But again, I could hear, that's where I was hearing the problems, that I was giving too much stage direction, and less is always more, right?
Yeah.
So I've learned a lesson there. There'd be...
Yeah, I think we all learn that lesson, and no matter what we do, it always ends up being slightly overwritten. That's one of the great values of it. A performer can bring so much nuance and interpretation that you don't have to have on the page, and inviting them to discover it rather than telling them what it is always much more playful and brings more authenticity to it.
And the thing is, I should know this as well, because in publishing, I do the same thing. I leave more to the illustrator, and I need to learn to do more than now in script writing and leave it to the actors and actresses. Yeah.
Right. Emily, do you have any other thoughts to share?
Just that I think that this was so incredible. Everyone involved, so talented. I'm so excited to have worked with all of you and to hopefully work with you all again in the future, because this was just such a great opportunity. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, anybody got any final thoughts then before we wrap it up? Okay, well, thank you again, everyone, for being fabulous. I do hope we see you on Zoom again. And of course, we're going to see you at the end of April at the London Screenwriters Festival for 3 days of mayhem. Not that that's often a word you associate with screenwriting, but that's the way we roll. Thank you again, and I think I'm gonna definitely in the podcast put a huge audience cheering and applause now. So we should all unmute and clap to everyone. Hurrah! Well done, everybody. Thank you. Hey. Amazing.